game affair, or if we're going to be having a 2-0 sweep for Piggy Killer. I do really like this Piggy Killer draft for all the good stuff you mentioned. Lots of damage as well. I also don't really see them having that many answers for a uber stacked Sven. That being said, though, the one really nice thing I do like from the Team Bright lineup, another thing this LC gives them, you mentioned it being very good against the Bat Rider, but this new build of Queen of Pain, where she builds the Aghanim Scepter as a priority damage item, press the attack is pretty big deal against that, because without it, have you seen how much damage that item does on this hero in fights? It's kind of insane.
Yeah, probably gonna skip it here. Just go for like, call it rather standard item on Queen of Pain, where you get like Kaya Sanj. Guys, status resistance in general right now feels extremely strong because all the stuns, all the disables duration got reduced. Add a little bit of extra on top of that, you're getting out of trouble. Queen of Pain has this problem where she blinks in and dies. Like you are, especially at the lower levels, when your blink is not maxed out. Let's see, seems like there's not going to be a fight happening.
Nah.
Undyne, starting with Orb of Venom. This is some pub tech, definitely not a fan of it. I did like, if I tested something, that's Pudge. I have like over 1,500 games on Pudge. It's not worth it, I would say. It's just like, sure, the slow is there, so they could try to square up level 1, use this Flux, Orb of Venom, throw a Blood Grenade, but it's very expensive. Like 275 gold. We'll see if it pays off.
We're all learning new things here, Lacrosse. This new tech, it might be the time to deploy it. And if it's bad, at least you can say, hey, I knew it was going to be bad.
It's not really a new tech. It's been done before, where you like wanted to run people down with Rot and Orb of Venom. Good luck with that Orb of Venom, buddy.
Well, he's going to be dead right now, so the Orb of Venom didn't really help him out so far. I'm sure he would have really liked the Windlace or some movement speed at that moment in time, but he didn't have any of those.
Stick, any kind of a stats, whatever, just not this.
Oh, no.
This is kind of a outsiders from China type of build, I would say, from the previous tour. Lands a hook, Orb of Venom.
He does get a hook. There we go. Oh, no, but the fissure is there from Frisk. The spark rate as well gets eaten up by the Earthshaker. So Frisk ensuring that Ava does stay living, doesn't have to sacrifice the gold he gained from getting the first blood. And he has to be careful though. Hook is back soon. Will he land it? No, he will not. He misses the hook, so now he actually might die here. Spark rate though is coming soon. Gets thrown out onto the Earthshaker. And with the Flux having already been applied to Ava, there's no damage to kill anybody, but they at least enough damage to dissuade them from jumping on the Pudge.
An interesting build on Ava. He's the one not getting stick in a palm, something that Bat Riders actually do, but considering how things went in the lane, he was kind of forced to go for it. And now has Ring of Health, Share Tango, lands another hook, Orb of Venom,
gets hooks.
And there's the
Flux
flame
will
break.
be there. The Orb of Venom. One more hit. Nope, they're not going to find it. This must be so frustrating, Lacoste. You're getting so close to killing this guy so often, but you haven't been able to find it just yet. And with most of these fighting happening from so far range, you can't necessarily justify the Orb of Venom. In the meantime, though, on the other side of the map, Irving and Imitator, they find Fly, killing off the Sven as the LC in the off lane.
Yeah, this is why I said I wanted to see a little bit more coming out from Legion Commander. Such a strong laner, especially if you know the matchup. He should not be threatened in this lane. What is he bringing on the courier? Going to be Chainmail for now. Sven, not known as like the lane dominator by any means. Maybe like level 1, level 2, you can try to get a kill if he's paired up with a killer in the lane. But other than that, he wants to collect XP, go to jungle, and just keep farming the jungle. So might be pushed out of the lane earlier than he expected.
Irving in this game, building into the Blade Mail. His courier does get killed off, but whatever. Got the stick delivered. Its primary purpose has been fulfilled. It's a very good time so far. Also, interestingly enough, they are playing this bottom lane. We'll talk about it in a second as they're jumping onto this Awkward and the hook. All right, Undyne might not be able to find kills with these hook reliably, but find salvation for the Awkward. And that would have been a disaster if he died. But he might still end up taking a tumble here as they're diving him underneath the tower.
Frisk
have access to Fissure in a moment. There's going to be the cliff, but oh no, Flame Break pushes him on the other side of the Fissure. But they don't have the Firefly to fly over this. And Imitator makes the rotation down bottom, and with Frostbite able to secure the kill. Frisk might be in danger as well. Spark Wraith will do the damage. The one more right click from Heat will end off his life. Okay, they overcommitted a little bit for that one, Lacoste, and they get punished pretty handedly by Team Bright.
This is such a me move in the pubs. Like, I called it. I said, you know, glyph the wave, dive underneath the tower, but a little too aggressive. Good rotation there coming out from Imitator. Gets the kill, gets actually a second kill, goes back to the top lane, starts to pressure Fly. XM, he has some, I'd say, heavy lifting to do in this game. Needs to kind of salvage the lanes right now. Looking at Fly, his CS not too great, sitting at 19. Wants to get maybe level 5, go to the jungle, but Irving, he's going to be the one pressuring him by quite a lot. The change to Overwhelming Odds, where you get attack speed on Overwhelming Odds compared to Prestige attack, it's so good.
Yeah. One of my friends, he quit Dota for a while, but he was an LC spammer. And I was just describing to him the changes. And he went straight home. He's like, all right, buddy, I'll see you later. I'm going to play Legion Commander. This feels pretty strong.
You still called him friend after he quit Dota?
Listen, I understood. Of course I called him friend. He made a healthy decision for his mental health, bro. I supported him.
I realized most of my friends were just like Dota related, one way or the other. Sam, we'll have to jump out of the trouble.
Fine. He's fine. Also, what do you make of Imitator being the one to play Pos 4 on the Crystal Maiden and having a Pos 5 patch for the game?
They wanted to have different lanes, to have like Legion Pudge is not the strongest lane, and you can see that lanes are working out. Irving is on top of CS, on top of Network, because the lane setup that they had. And when you have Arc Order, you also want to have someone who goes in and soaks up the damage, so it kind of makes sense. Like Crystal Maiden, Arc Order, not really a lane. You want to keep the distance. They decide to dive you. One of you is dead, maybe both of you. Frisk. Thinking about picking up the haste rune, forced to do it.
Does get the haste rune, but not going to be able to close it onto Phoenix. In the meantime, though, Imitator on the other side, not going to be as lucky to have his own haste rune. So they do kill off the Crystal Maiden. XM's the one that's credited with that kill. He said he has to do some heavy lifting. Kills like that will certainly help. They help push him to a second in Network. Top is still going to be Irving on the Legion Commander, but there's still time. Bottom, though, they're jumping onto Ava. They really want this Batrider kill, and they should be able to find it. The hook this time from Undyne does secure the kill. We are starting to get these flesh heap stacks.
Orb of Venom. It's a setup for a hook. Can't miss. The extra slow.
I really hope they win this game with this Orb of Venom.
That doesn't look strong. Like, is Blade Mail finished? It is already on LC. Looking for that level 6.
Yep. Once they have the level 6, I mean, Phoenix also has access to the level 6, so they could easily make a rotation to the top lane. Fly needs to start thinking about vacating this part of the map, lest his life become forfeit. One more creep should secure the LC6, and there she has it. Imitator is the only one behind her so far, but we need to start paying attention to where she decides to make her first duel. Unfortunately for her, though, it does seem Fly feels a little bit awkward about where he's at. Plus down some wards. Hook missed on the bottom lane. They should still find a kill onto the Awkward, and though diving him with the Firefly, and they should get him. Top lane, though, Fly did get himself dueled, and they really want this kill. Fly is still alive on 20 HP. XM rotates to the top lane, bringing down Irving. Oh my goodness. They were supposed to wait. Where was Phoenix? Lacoste, where was my mid laner while I'm going for my first duel?
Yeah, I guess with the duel and Blade Mail, he thought that they have enough, and they're going to dive bottom one more time. Heavy rotations from Bright.
Phoenix is coming, though, to try and counter this, as he first wants to bring down this Earthshaker. They are able to do so. Ava did go a little bit too deep in the trees for them to keep chasing. And top lane, though, they're going on to Crystal Maiden. Fly, with the help of Mercy, is able to get that kill. But what worries me is that if Mercy wasn't nearby, Fly was in legit danger of getting soloed by Imitator.
Yeah, this bottom lane has not been going too well for Bright. Sure, Arc Warden like has his hand of Midas being delivered as we speak, but there's some really good heroes in this game to be able to counter him, and they're making a rotation. They want to find Sven, but they find Techies instead. Mercy's gonna go down, first duel victory, extra 10 damage from Legion Commander. They're gonna start to put some pressure on this tier 1 tower.
Sadly, what sucks about the way Legion itemizes relative to other offlaners is that she is not a Vanguard spammer and rusher. So she can't do that wonderful trick of just soaking up the wave by herself.
Yeah,
Does mean it takes a little bit of time.
You could still buy auras on Legion Commander, like throughout Dota history. Like there has been Legion Commanders with like Guardian Greaves. Pipe was very prominent as an item before getting like Blade Mail, Blink Dagger. But I think in this one, he should be like just buying items for himself. Like get like something like Heaven's Halberd, BKB, jump in, and play this style of Dota instead of going for the auras.
You know, speaking of auras, I got to witness the other day the second ever pickup of Crimson Guard on Queen of Pain. And as we were casting, we were like, what? What's going on here?
It's such a good item that you still want to buy it. Like Vanguard Batrider, like what is that? Because it's disassemblable, so you can go into Octarine Core, but it looks weird. Like Batrider mana boots with Vanguards, like it goes back, like it was super popular in China, I don't know, 10, 12, 13 years ago when they were kind of unkillable, buying Vanguards on 3, maybe even 4 different heroes. Fun times.
I remember those days. No, it wasn't fun times. It was awful.
I kind of liked it. I know that it's Vanguard, PMS. They're not the most hype items, but China was on different level in terms of like itemization and stuff. They were really experimenting ahead of a time. Ava, let's see if they can land another one. They can.
They do get Ava. At the same time, the rest of the team are smoked up, looking for a kill in the top lane. And they wanted to find Irving, but he's made the right read. Has he? Oh no, we stopped. No, I think he might die here. How many times has this happened, Lacoste? You actually make a very good juke, but then for want of one more camp, you end up dooming yourself. So the offlaners do get traded out on the map right now.
There's your item build that you talked about. Aghanim Scepter being built on XM. Pops the shield.
They're actually coming for this fight right now. They went through the Twin Gate to try and force this from happening. Frost Freezing Field on the higher ground. Undyne manages to pick off Frisk. There's going to be a very huge dismember onto the techies as well. They've managed to find 2. Undyne, though, should end up losing his life as Fly chasing him down with some right-click damage. He's here with the Arc Warden, but he might be in the midst of too many heroes, and he will end up dying. Takes Fly with him, though. Lasso going back onto Phoenix. He has to assimilate back online. He will be able to use it, but does he escape is the question. XM has Blink in a moment. He jumps forward. There's going to be a duel back, though, onto Ava. Ava will end up dead as the Astro Step not only gets the kill, but keeps Phoenix alive at the same time. XM has no option to pursue a deeper engagement in this fight, so he has to retreat. What an engagement. 4 for 3 at the end of the day there.
That really long fight. Bright getting more gold from that fight. They're also getting flash heaps. They are getting dual damage. So when you do the math, they definitely won this fight. It's an infinite scaling lineup on their side. Sven, we didn't talk too much about Fly. He went back for Hand of Midas. Not sure that I like it that much. But look at XM holding that shield rune. Such a powerful rune. Doesn't allow you to die. And position 5 Pudge getting in, getting double kill, getting some flash heap charges as well. Is going to become relatively tanky. But Fly still not like fight ready with the item build that he has. I don't think you need Hand of Midas, but it's also like substitution to your Mask of Madness. I would say it's not as good. Maybe he's looking to get like level 15 talent, level 20 talent faster. And in the end, as we've seen on the replay, there is dual damage as well picked up from Legion Commander. So Blink Dagger finished on Irving. Will allow him to get better initiation, choosing the targets. Will be able to maybe lock down Queen of Pain.
They actually might try to go for it now because the courier's right behind him. They don't have a smoke, though, on the Pudge. So they should ideally keep the Blink Dagger. No, don't deliver it. No, don't deliver.
No. He's experienced. It's fine.
Okay.
Not gonna do it.
I'm just making sure, brother. You know, I've seen some weird
you really
things
helped
lately.
him there. If you didn't say it, he would have definitely done it.
Exactly. They don't have a smoke though, so that does mean that any wards they walk under will still reveal what's happening. And there's a ward that's right in front of them here through this mid lane, so they have to be very careful about this. Afterwards though, who's a big target? Phoenix is also joining up, so they actually want to force a fight. They're going on to Undyne. He's going to bait with his own life, but here comes the blink dagger. He doesn't blink far enough. Oh no. Won't be able to find a target just yet. Eventually gets the dual kill onto Ava, but will die as he gets echo slammed. And there's the follow-up stun onto Phoenix as well. Phoenix barely managing to get away from that fight. It's 2 for 1 though. They want to try and find this Crystal Maiden as well. She will buy time with the freezing field, but it's only bought time, not time in itself. So 3 for 1 exchange there.
Whew. Could have been a disaster for Bright if there was Techie's stun coming in earlier on duel. That could have been a different fight. Sure, you would have probably died there because you're using it on a blade melt target, but still, really good fight for Piggy Killer. Sven also joining in the end. And as we said, no Mask of Madness this time around. Opted to go for Hand of Midas. So one problem that Sven had is running out of slots relatively early on because he was buying all these cheap items. But now with the introduction of Harpoon, you do have an upgrade to one of your items, which feels really nice to have. Like you don't need to sell your items 30 minutes into the game.
Actually on 5 upgrade parts. Speaking of items, down bottom, XM has finished off this Aghanim Scepter, so the Queen of Pain damage is obscene. And Ava, of course, has an Octarine core right behind him. So magic damage is no longer going to be an issue for the side of Piggy Killer. And they're not buying a pipe right now for Team Bright. We don't have anybody with a mech, a Greaves. All of their sustain is pretty much locked behind the Legion Commanders. Press the attack.
None of them are buying auras. At least not yet. Maybe Techies, Pudge later down the line will be able to get some. To go back to Queen of Pain Ags, the change in the recent patch, like where
we'll talk about it in a second, Lucas, because a fight is starting right now. They're going on to the Legion Commander first and foremost, and they should be able to bring her down. Fly has God Strength active, but he's falling very low on the HP, and Fly is gonna die. Sonic Wave goes through too. Undyne gonna be the one that tumbles first, and they can't get a beat onto Phoenix, but that might just mean that Phoenix has abandoned Heat. He's trying to twin gate away. Will he be allowed to escape? What? He's actually gets out.
They have nothing to stop it. They used pretty much everything, and now he's on the different side of the map. We'll continue to farm up. XM, he's the one going ham in these fights. 7-0 and 5. Lincoln's next on the menu, understands that if he gets dueled during the Blade Mill, he'll probably die. Mercy, he's going to drop here unless there's going to be a Fissure, and yeah, there it is. Manages to get out of trouble.
So let's go back and quickly talk about this Aghanim Scepter on the Quap of Pain. So big change to this. Talk to me about this. How did you feel when you first read it, and has it lived up to what you felt when you saw it in the games you've witnessed?
Yeah, I tested it out like, I don't know, a couple of months ago. Felt a little underwhelming, I would say. But now Aghanim Scepter also emitted from Shadow Strike, expiring, now also damages the target. So that's also a big upgrade as well for Queen of Pain. It's a ton of damage that this hero does. And also, I like that, like, even though level 10 talent on Queen of Pain is really juicy, because you want to get that extra strength, he's not getting it, instead opting to go and put more points in Blink to be able to get out of the trouble. Also, interesting point to make is Phoenix not going for Echo Saber this time around, getting Aghanim Scepter instead to have a little bit more control. Really good against Earthshaker. You can silence him in the back lines. Same goes for Queen of Pain pre-BKB. And as soon as XM saw that Aghanim Scepter, changes his mind. Instead, he's going for Aghanim Scepter now. Duel.
The big duel onto Mercy, but Mercy's still alive. He's able to pop his own back. Jumps in with a blast off, stunning too, and there's an Echo Slam pop by Frisk as well. LC dead immediately with Imitator following him. And now let's see what else they can get. They find Phoenix. Phoenix doesn't have any of his escape spells ready. Lacoste dissimulate up again in 4-3. Not gonna get there. He is dead. 3 heroes are fallen. That was a duel that they looked for, but you know, you were talking about how nobody on the Team Bright lineup can build auras or is building auras. on the dire lineup, this Techie is of late. We've seen that this hero normally just goes in straight for the Guardian Greaves. He's already most of the way there, so not a viable dual target anymore, really, it feels like.
You can buy anything on Techies, and it feels nice because he's universal hero now. So we see a lot of like Boots of Bearing, Solar Crest, maybe a Glimmer Cape if needed, a Force Staff. The hero can buy anything, and you can also switch back to auras. He has this mech that you mentioned, and also had Pipe queued up at one point, but for now changing his mind. And Bright doing the same thing as they did in game one, going for this Roshan. One of the reasons why like Manta Style is a new tech on Arc Warden is changed to his magnetic field, where you get this extra magical damage coming out from the bubble, Tempest Double.
It's a lot of extra damage with these Manta illusions. It enables them to take down this Roshan. Yet again, like you mentioned, they steal it away from Piggy Killer in the second game. And it's certainly necessary. We've seen that Heat has been struggling to survive these team fights. And because you went in for the Manta as a rush in this game, we don't actually have access to a Maelstrom here, or a Mjolnir, or even a Gleipnir. So that means that his overall farm pace is a little bit behind the Sven at this moment in time.
We'll catch up. This is Arc Warden we're talking about. With Manta Style, you can scout things out. Let's see. I found another one.
Yeah. Just a free kill on the Crystal Maiden. Easy money.
Frisk has been really on point with his positioning on Earthshaker, getting this earlier Blink Dagger, the cast range improvement we talked about, and also holding the Eye of the Vizier. This item has been constantly buffed. Was really bad when it first came out. Literally more downsides to it than it actually benefited. Duel.
Quick duel. Let's see if they have the damage to get this kill onto Sven, and they do. Nobody there from Piggy Killer. All right, Lacoste. That death, we have to talk about it. Fly's positioning in this game has not been great.
I can hear it. It's like, I don't want to
I just want to say that Sven hasn't been positioning very well.
Three good reasons why it was so bad. Yeah, I mean, not a place to be. I mean, maybe he felt relatively safe considering that he has ward, he has vision there, but yeah, as soon as he gets jumped by Legion Commander, and also Pudge has a Blink Dagger, so needs to be careful. I also want to see what the next item on this side is going to be. For now, he could have had like a BKB, disassemble Echo Saber, but yeah, not doing it for now.
Yeah.
Instead, opted to go for another Ogre Axe.
BKBs are about to be finished en masse for the Dire lineup. All three cores angling for that item. On Radiant lineup, Phoenix is going for the SNK, so he's not going to have BKB for a while. Irving not that far away, getting closer and closer towards being able to pick up this item, which would be a pretty big deal. They are struggling a little bit with the magic damage output on the side of Piggy Killer.
XM still doesn't have his BKB, very close to it, 200 gold short. So they know exactly where they are. Crystal Maiden just received the shard. Really good shard, allows you to move, cast, attack during the freezing field.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Piggy Killer did smoke around this mid lane. Kind of surprising that this tower has still been lasting for as long as it has been. So finally time to remedy that.
We see it
also,
more
why
often.
proximity mines deal damage to buildings? I don't know, but it does.
Yeah, the mid-tier 1 tower is not as important as it was before because the map is bigger. There's place to make. Still important, but I would say not as much. Now they have double BKB, one available on Fly, and one being delivered to XM as we speak. Batrider also going for one after finishing off bots. Blink Dagger as well, holding on to Vampire Fangs. So during the nighttime, we'll have a better initiation with that night vision. But Bright, they are ready to take a fight. Still holding the Aegis for another minute. So Arc Warden will have 2 lives available.
Techies will pop this smoke onto 3 heroes. They get the jump in onto Phoenix. He finds a silence on 2, but not going to be able to finish them off just yet. Jumping back, Ava coming in. He finds the last two, gets the spell though. Sonic Wave, it's huge. They bring down Heat. That's the first life taken away. Imitator will die too, and so does Phoenix. Heat comes back on the second life. Mate, you're trying to TP out here. That's not going to work. You're going to end up dead. And they're trying to flee right now for Team Bright. Irving gets himself away, goes to farm. That was another fight that they took, Lacoste, and they got heavily punished on that one.
Yeah,
they just couldn't find their targets.
It feels like they want to finish the game, pretty much. You know, they want to get this one real quick. Not the best target prioritization, I would say. Also, Mercy was in a good spot to break the smoke, gets the blast off, gets the reactive taser as well, gets the disarm. And Phoenix heavily committed on Void Spirit, puts himself out of position. Again, good Fisher from Frisk, and you can see Void Spirit really struggling. Queen of Pain with the newly bought BKB. Same goes for Sven. They don't really have that much. Legion Commander couldn't find an opening. Irving doesn't get the duel off because he didn't see Sven. Sven was in the back lines, and as soon as they delete one target, the fight seems relatively over. Like, you just don't have enough damage. Like, even that was also a kill on Arc Warden with...
Yeah, with Aegis.
With Aegis, didn't really make any kind of a difference in that fight.
Ooh, Arc Warden really feeling the pressure right now. Still has relatively high net worth, of course, but we're not necessarily seeing the influence of that net worth within team fights just yet. And Sven is starting to get closer towards that critical mass. You talked about him in the draft, this outlay of just burst damage. It's coming soon. Building the Chrysalis. Then we start getting very, very scared about the prospect of the Team Pride hero surviving these fights.
He also finished off Harpoon, got level 18, so extra damage from God Strength, being able to pull people closer to him.
Gosh. What still also scares me here is the fact that Piggy Killer, they still have so much additional sustain over and above what we see from Team Bright. This mech making a huge difference. We don't have anything comparable. Like, they have pressed the attack, sure, but that last fight, Irving was pretty much controlled half the way through, so don't even get the influence of that spell in the fight. I need some damage, Lacoste, and I need it soon. I need it to happen without these heroes getting killed in the process. We're also seeing that middle. They're going to make a jump onto XM. Do they have what it takes to bring him down? They do not. And this is kind of the risk of this build we see from Phoenix. Instead of going for the raw damage, this more control-oriented build does get heavily countered by BKB on the enemy lineup.
Imitator might be the one getting the jump. Fly. Harpoon is available. There's the press.
The attack is there with a duel. They turned it back onto Ava, and Ava should die here. That's a duel victory as well. One of the few in this game. Not sure they want to chase for more, but Piggy Killer...
I think Piggy Killer, they're ready to take a fight. Even though without Queen of Pain, BKB, they might try not to go for it. Now holding the high ground, Techies did plant an Observer Ward and ready to go in with the blast off. Pipe finished, mech finished on him. Frisk.
Oh my god.
Doesn't have Shard available yet. Doesn't want to buy it for himself. Probably thinking that he's going to get it for free from Tormentor. They still didn't kill Tormentor on their side.
Well, that's if he doesn't die to the Tormentor.
Yeah.
But that's only Mercy, I guess. That's it's not going to be Frisk.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Team Bright right now. On the bright side for them, pun intended, they don't have to worry about Roshan immediately, but the big man is coming, and it's going to be a concern when he's back online. They've been losing fights even when they had the Aegis, so what happens if they no longer have access to that? Fly got hooked by this Pudge. If Phoenix was nearby, that could have actually been a kill, because Fly was not very high on the HP.
Also,
but then again, Phoenix
Irving
doesn't have the right build.
They get a duel there. Also, nice play from Fly. Didn't flinch, didn't use a BKB immediately. Could have, but
Middle tower is under attack.
let's see. For now, collecting some Lotuses. Does have greater healing Lotus, so 400 HP and mana. We'll pop it off immediately. That's the downside of not having Mask of Madness. Your HP is not going to be full all the time.
Yeah. I guess the Vampire Fangs help a lot, but it's still not a sufficient replacement.
Yeah, exactly.
Radiant's top tower is under
Just going to take the tier 1 tower,
Radiant's top
remove from the top side of the map. And Roshan up in 2 minutes. Piggy Killer, of course, not necessarily aware of this just yet. They have a proximity mine inside the Dire Pit, though, so they should be aware that the big man is not there right now. Just keep pushing the wave. Keep doing you.
That's the power of techies. You see both, like Roshan entered like through the twin gates, and also the area around it has all the mines. So if people are smoked, you're also gonna see, because the mine's gonna explode. You know something's cooking. This is why techies is such a powerful hero.
Things I never thought we'd have to all admit. Techies is a good hero.
Really is.
So what's the game plan now for the side of Team Bright? You already know that you're behind. You've been losing fights. You know that you need to claim this next Roshan. You do have a BKB on Irving, but you're still feeling a little bit lackluster in damage. So where do you go next? What do they do in the next 5 minutes to recover their position in this game?
I think getting pickoffs, if they can split the map, I don't think you can contest next Roshan, which is going to spawn in a minute. So it's going to be on Radiant side, which means that Piggy Killers need to try to set things up, and they're pinging it out. They're like, probably going to be bottom anyway, 45 seconds, not enough for them to kill it, because we're in the vicinity. So drawn out fights, I would say. Drag it a little bit more. Legion Commander about to finish off Heaven's Halberd, so that's going to be tankiness on him. And also a way to proc the Lincolns. I see two heroes have Lincolns queued up at the moment. One on Ava and one on XM. That is about to be finished in 300 gold. They want to protect themselves against Duel, against Dismember.
I feel like such an excellent game to have Lincoln's Sphere. And once the Queen of Pain has Lincoln's and BKB, which she just does, bringing her down in these fights. She also has 3k HP. This is not an easy customer by any stretch of the imagination. They're trying to force a fight, though, from Piggy Killer. They know that Rose should probably be down here on the bottom side. And they have moved up. The Twin Gate is being covered by Team Bright. Phoenix aware that something might happen from this direction. But Piggy Killer walking up the old-fashioned way. They revealed the illusion that they know they're there.
I was afraid that Roshan's bugged again. Sometimes he does this thing because he started walking out of the pit.
Like yesterday's one, right? Which is always...
It happens every day, pretty much.
Yep. Yesterday's one was the funniest one that I've seen, though. Where he leaves, he's like, I'm done, I'm going back, boys. It's chilled. Batrider leading the charge right now. They want Irving, and they will get Irving. Woo! That's a huge kill. Does that buyback, though, if he wants to return into this fray. So does Undyne, who was picked up right after him. Sadly, though, this outpost is being covered as well, Lacoste. So even if they bought back, getting back into this game is not the easiest thing in the world right now.
Definitely not. And Mercy will set up some mines, making sure that there's not going to be an angle where Bright can come from. Sven, he comes in, finished off Daedalus, holding on to Titan Sliver, damage, 500 damage per hit without crits. And got to use that rest of that God Strength to finish off Roshan. Let's see if he's going to be the one picking up Aegis. Will be the case. XM will be holding the cheese on top of the great healing Lotus. People have been stacking these Lotuses for quite some time, understanding that they don't need to use it early on. Pick it up, save it for the mid game.
I just want a pro game with a block of cheese. Just one. As long as I can see that in a game, I'll be happy. Hasn't happened just yet, though. And now, Piggy Killer, off the back of their success in the Roshan pit, will come towards the Twin Gate. This time, Mercy is like, please bring help, boys. I don't want to deal with this thing alone. And
receives the
shard. Get him an Aghanim shard. Yep.
Yeah, what happened from the previous game? They're like, okay, Tormentor. We'll bless you this time around, buddy.
They had us back, so now he has a shard to his name. We're not that far away from having some runes to pick up as well on the floor. So this game, 9k gold lead for Piggy Killer. They're getting all the items they want. They have a Lincoln's and BKB on Corp, so she can't die. They will soon have Lincoln's Sphere on the Batrider as well. And then he can either use it himself or put it onto the Sven so that the Sven can't die. And the Sven as well about to pick up the AC. I am not seeing anything even remotely close to this degree of effectiveness coming in soon from the side of Team Bright. And it's very apparent they can't even fight anymore, Lacoste. Like, so now what? You said you want more elongated fights. Clearly that can't happen. Is there anything they can do with the itemization to maybe help them out during this period of the Aegis?
Maybe getting something like a Hex later down the line. I'm fine with this Silver Edge pickup for now. And he,
Is under attack.
just to have like break mechanic, it's not that bad against the Earthshaker, against Sven. Removing the Cleave, Aftershock. Also gives you damage. Hook.
Oh, Sven got hooked.
That's the way
Actually, he
to
has an
start it.
Aegis, but he might end up losing his life. And this is what we need from them. Exploiting Piggy Killer during these moments. Aether Remnant dropped down. He does have BKB, but the Aether Remnant comes first. And there's going to be the duel following up on this with the freezing field over it. They do find the kill. XM has a huge Sonic Wave, though, that goes through 4. And they lasso back onto this Legion Commander, killing off Irving. It's a 1-1 trade, but they will take it any day of the week on Team Bright. Getting not just the Aegis, but the proper life of the Sven as well.
Whew, Fly needs to be careful about this one. Like, they don't have the sieging tools. You don't have this hero that goes in and just like slow siege. So
Is under attack.
gotta be extremely careful for the next fight, because this is how you give enemy come back into the game. Fudge will get picked off, which means that XM is getting that godlike streak, having a perfect game. We talked about him needing to have a good game, and so far he's delivered. 9-0 and 11 on the Queen of Pain.
Is under attack.
9-0-11. That's not bad. Not bad. Done everything that his squad needs him to do on the zero. Queen of Pain. Interestingly enough, actually, about the
Oh,
zero.
God,
Oh, no,
Phoenix.
they found Phoenix. No, he should be fine. There's no way he dies here. There's no way he dies here. Surely not. Surely not. Ava will find himself stalled up with the Aether Remnant. And XM is like, yeah, we're chasing too far, boys. Let's just back off. And behind them, they will just bring down the Tempest Double Illusion. Ava might die for this, though. Came very, very close at 50
Ooh,
HP
that
before they
was-
cleared it off.
Whew. Titan Sliver keeping them alive, some extra magic resistance, but also the reason why Phoenix didn't die there is holding Titan Sliver, status resistance, and status resistance from Kaya Sanj. Also with the reduced stuns on Earthshaker, it's kind of difficult to lock him down. And now
Yes,
Earthshaker picks up the
30%.
shard. Yeah, Frisk is like, okay, I don't need to commit. I can keep the distance. I have Eye of the Vizier, so that means the Fissure range is pretty massive. It covers the whole screen with Ether Lens.
Yep. Imitator about to die. Blast-Off will cancel the TP attempt. But he is happy to die in the situation because he did take their Wisdom Rune. So you'll take it. It is what it is. Somebody has to take the tumble. Oh, we do need experience. Okay. Gonna be a nice, healthy hunk for them. "36 minutes into the game right now. Piggy Killer. They don't have an Aegis in tow. And given how their push went last time,
Attack.
they'll definitely want to wait for one before they go onto the high ground. So that means that there's at least 4 minutes into this game, or 3 to 4 minutes, or 3 to 5 really, that Team Bright can farm for their next round of items.
And there's this Hex queued up on our coordinate
Yep.
that we mentioned. It's a really good pickup, having double Hex to be able to control like dual into double Hex could be really, really good. They will need some kind of a save item, I would say, on side of Piggy Killers, because this game is very winnable for Bright. All they need is another good fight, another round of items. Not sure if Frisk needed to go for this Ether Lens. Sure, you get extra range. First of all, Fissure has been buffed. You have Eye of the Vizier. Maybe he thought, you know, Fade hasn't really seen much of a play. Maybe he thought, I'll get Ether Lens, turn that into Octarine Core. Not a build-up anymore, because he wants to go for these two items. So could have been a mistake from his side. I also don't mind if they get something like Wind Waker to be able to save people during the duel, or Punch Hook into Dismember could be a big one.
Dude, actually, between this Eye of the Vizier and the Aether Lens, these fishes are going to come from the other screen. It's going to be crazy to see. They're smoked up now, so maybe we can see one of these fishes. Oh no, look who's farming the Radiant Triangle. It's Heat. But they go right, my goodness. He will never know until he watches this replay how close he was to just straight up dying.
Fly needs to be slightly more careful on Sven. Sure, you deal a ton of damage, but okay, there's the damage.
Okay, nice little kill onto Undyne. And Sven is now starting to go back for this lifesteal. What, trying to end the game with Satanic, I imagine? Having this mode
wants
mask
to,
control?
wants to have a little bit more sustain through duel. So even if he like gets dueled, has God Strength, but then again, you don't have move speed item. You're gonna need to get rid of phase boost. Like eventually, sure, you can upgrade into Swift Blink. Queen
I
of
think with
Pain.
Harpoon, that also helps a lot, not having to worry that much about maneuverability in the fight, even if you don't have
Yeah,
boots. Right?
that's true. That's true. This item gives you a little bit of extra, something that Sven definitely needed. Queen of Pain might also be forced to use Lincolns on Sven in the fights because she's super tanky. She's sitting at 3.3k HP, status resistance as well, pops a BKB. Because they're going to be looking to take out Sven most likely, jumping by surprise, especially with Hex being so close, finished on Arc Warden. And of course, he finds Spell Prism or Arc Warden because why not?
Oh, of course.
Radiant's middle tower is under
That seems fair and balanced to me. Let's see. Anything else that's ridiculous in terms of neutral items?
Trickster's Cloak.
Trickster's Cloak on Void Spirit seems pretty good. Oh, we've got a Mindbreaker for Co-op and a Panther Edge for Sven. Okay. Well, right now we have a smoke up from Team Bright though. So we'll see if they can find any of these heroes. First, he broke the smoke. The question is, can he get out of here? They're going in. They find the duel onto him. But Sven turning on the damage with the God Strength. So even though you found the duel, you might have put yourself in danger. They get the first kill. Sonic Wave comes through from XM, connects onto 3 heroes. 2 have already
Harpoon?
died. Harpoon back onto Phoenix. Will he be able to get away? No, he will not. Brought down by the right-click damage of Fly. And Lacoste, you find the duel, but you're the one that ends up being dueled, basically. Fly gets free damage out of that fight.
Whew. I think Arc Warden also needs to invest his gold. Like sitting at 6.6k gold, having Hex in that fight could have made the difference. It's a lot of dead net worth on you, and they're gonna kill Tempest Double one more time. Bubble dropping relatively low. With Guardian Greaves, it's not gonna be the most sustained. Undying, let's see if he can land some big hook.
Fortunately for them, there's no creep wave here to have to worry about for now. It's coming soon, but I don't think they can defend it. They take the tier 3 tower. 6 seconds until the Crystal Maiden's alive. 10 until we have LC. And that actually might end the push. Piggy Killer are playing this 4v5. So they have to worry about it a little bit. XM, not the healthiest hero, even though he does have cheese. Does get hooked out, forced to pop the cheese. Freezing field used by the Crystal Maiden. But here comes Alpha, jumping in, finding the real heat as well. He does manage to survive for now. Flame Break, pushing him back. There's a duel from Irving. And they kill him with the Great Cleave, as well as making sure they bring down the LC. 2 core heroes are dead. Buyback coming in from the Awkward, and BKB popped by Sven. Has a Satanic, he pops it right now. Get some life steal. That'll keep him alive for the minute. Hook misses in its entirety. No catch on the Sven. And Team Bright forced into 2 huge buybacks. And they defend the base, sure, but this is a very expensive hold, Lacoste, as they also lose so many fights in the process.
It really is. This Satanic pickup from Fly has been on point. First, keeps him alive during the duel, gets that little bit of an extra life steal. He also popped it before to go back to full HP. And then pops another Satanic and keeps himself alive. So 2 massive buybacks on their side. Roshan is back to Radiant side. Aghanim Scepter also available. So they can give it to Sven if they feel like he needs more maneuverability.
Let's see. We could go Superman Sven. We could go for a double lasso on the Batrider. Or we could go for the jumping totem. Looks like we're getting the double lasso. All right. I like this. I'm fine with this completely. I mean, we've seen how much impact he's had just with a solitary lasso, so...
Yeah, I mentioned some kind of a save item on Piggy Killers. Wind Waker. I thought maybe Earthshaker will be the one getting it, but in the end, it's going to be Batrider. Ava does have enough money to buy it in, what, like 2,000 gold? Maybe a little less. So that's going to be a huge pickup. There's no nullifier, there's no dispel item on side of Bright. So you'll get the full value from it.
Bottom lane, we're going to get full value on the life of Imitator. As he dies, buyback is available if he wants to pop it. Fly. Even though they don't have an Aegis, they just feel so strong right now. Mercy got himself hooked back, and they need to bail him out of trouble here, lest he gets brought down by the Tempest double. And this double, not going to be long for the world, nor will the lane of Rax. And Piggy Killer finish what they started, and there's no need for them to leave the base yellow cost. They still feel uber strong. It's all going to come down to Team Bright. They're jumping in right now. Phoenix might be punished for this. Do they have the damage to kill him? No, they do not. The chain disable a little bit lacking. So they will pop God Strength though. Yeah, they need to do something with
these
this.
barracks immediately. Sitting inside the bubble, doesn't care too much. A couple of right clicks, needs like 5-6 good hits from Sven.
Alright, they've smoked up on Team Bright. This could be the final fight that they have in this game. The LC cannot find a viable dual target, and this is a good time for them to fight if they can catch somebody just as God Strength is waning. Sadly though, they just do not have that kind of reach Lacoste. They will get this tier keys. So, as usual, Mercy will be the one to tank the W forward here. They go to the duel onto XM. But
He's
XM
so
is actually
tanky.
doing more damage onto LC. Sonic Wave goes back, pushes back 2 heroes. They kill off the LC. Imitator came forward in the fight. Even without the God Strength, the Sven can still threaten her life. Phoenix also involved, forced to immediately get away as Heat got caught with the double lasso. Both him and his Tempest double. The Echo Slam makes sure that they clean up the Manta illusions and kill him off. And that's 100 seconds in the grave. No buyback. He died back. So that's just it. Done and dusted. GG, well played is called. Bat Rider finishes as Wind Waker. And Piggy Killer finishes off Team Bright.
Yeah, I want to see Team Bright maybe stay.